Anybody who's ever been in a leadership position is guilty of forming a narrative about someone as an underperformer. Oh, they screw up everything. And then what ends up happening is all we do is think about them and treat them as an underperformer, and all we do is notice the things that they get wrong. And then when we give them feedback sessions, it's usually us correcting minor things over and over and over again to the point where we completely destroy their confidence. And what I recommend, and by the way, we're all guilty of this, and I think it's essential for leadership teams to check each other, that when somebody goes down a path of creating a narrative that someone is an underperformer as if it's a character flaw, that we interrupt that and say, is that true? What have they gotten right? What are they good at? And if you catch people doing things right versus always catching them doing things wrong, that positive reinforcement is so much more powerful than catching them doing things wrong.
Nice, Simon. Good to see you. Someone can still show up and behave in a way that is trust building, and yet they can be underperforming. That's okay. It usually means that there's more to the story and there's still potential there. If someone's underperforming, but yet they are still a great team member and they're still vulnerable and they're still honest and they still behave in a way that earns trust, there's opportunity to have a conversation and offer feedback and say, hey, I'm noticing that you're delayed or you're overwhelmed or you're underperforming, whatever it might be. This isn't like you. What's going on? And you have a conversation. The purpose of feedback conversations is to build connection and empathy and to understand what's going on at the other end. And you might find out that they're overwhelmed, or they have too much on their plate, or they're in an execution role, but they're a strategic thinker, or vice versa. You get more of the story and you can try to see, yes, are they on the right bus and are they in the right seat? Sometimes they're on the wrong bus, not a add to the team right now, or sometimes they're great for the team, but in the wrong role. And can you shift who they're reporting to, what their role is, the nature of their work? The other thing I like to do is I like to notice how many times am I giving feedback versus how many times am I receiving feedback. If all I'm doing is dishing feedback out, but I'm not tasting my own dish, turns out my dish might stink. What's your feedback of me, or what's your feedback of this culture, this situation, your role, whatever it might be, so that we can actually make it better together.